Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to my No Man's Sky video. Shally Magi here, and this is just kind of a video I decided to make off the cuff. I just made it to the Hesperius dimension. I think that's what it's called, Hesperius. Let me check here real quick. Yeah, Hesperius dimension. Just made it here the other day, and haven't really. I've done a few light year jumps, but mostly I'm just in explore mode right now. Been looking for all of the exotic biomes and really just looking for the one type of exotic biome to get the last trophy or the last sort of souvenir that I need. But I'm also checking out a lot of paradise planets, and I'm on a paradise planet right now, and it's really nice. There's basic. I haven't seen any sentinels here, right? And the weather's cool. There's no storms or nothing, and it looks nice, right? So I'm just kind of running around, and I discovered this, and I had to put a base here. Look at this crazy runaway mold patch. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous, right? So once I seen that, I was like, okay, yeah, I've got a bunch of runaway mold farms, but like I can't pass this up. So that it's pretty insane. And the one thing I've learned with runaway mold, or not runaway mold, curious deposits, which turn into, or they produce runaway mold. The one thing I have learned from a couple of the runaway mold farms I've had is that like if you try to make a real tight sort of area for them to be in, it seems like less of them spawn, right? So I don't want to make this too small, and I'm almost sort of tempted to sort of take it out a little bit, but I'm kind of blocked here by this tree. I could move the wall a little bit, or actually I could just incorporate the tree within the base. But I'm going to see about trying to get away with this because, yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, the amount of runaway mold and nanites I could get from this one farm, just by ingesting and using the Atlantid multi-tool would be truly ridiculous. But yeah, I'm going to build sort of a little runaway mold base here. I'll probably check in with you in a little while when I'm back. So I just got done building this mold base, and I'll give you a little, I guess, sort of view of it here. It's pretty simple, but that's all I need it to be. So it's kind of like in the shape of an L, and I got like a building here, and I mean that's a ridiculous amount of curious deposits, everyone. You know that is probably equal to three of the runaway mold bases I have, and I'm probably going to be getting rid of one of them pretty soon, the one that's tied to my quartzite base. But anyway, yeah. So I had to make the walls long enough. I could have probably made it a little smaller, but I didn't want to take any chances. But you can see the terrain to where if I hit any of these mold, they're definitely not going to, roll up over this hill. They're all going to roll down and pretty much right into the middle there. And I've got, the angled roof panels. I like using them because, you know, they're just really good. And that's pretty much it. I mean, at some point, maybe I'll add a landing pad. Not really any need to, because this is all I would come here for. Um, but I put all 5 refiners here because, that's just a good thing to have at your runaway mold farm. You blow these guys up and just start refining. In my case, you know, with taking the using the Atlantid multi-tool plus doing the food buff, I start having like almost no need for nanites. Like right now, I'm at 130,000 nanites. That's pretty good. Now, I did one round of these guys. Okay, I did one round of them, and I can't remember how many nanites I had. I think I had like 20,000 nanites, and that put me at 130. So, I mean, we're going to find out here real quick with the Atlantid multi-tool, with the OptiDrill and the supercharged slot. And I also think having the runic lens in a supercharged slot, I think that does add some to it, because I've done tests with a normal multi-tool. Everything being equal, right? OptiDrill in the supercharged slot, normal mining, laser supercharged slot, mining upgrade, supercharged slot. Only thing, I didn't have this in there, and I did seem to get a little bit more with this runic lens in there compared to a normal multi-tool with the normal mining laser in the supercharged slot. It wasn't significant, right? It wasn't like what this thing will do. But anyway, I think runaway mold, especially if you do the food buff and have, the right multi-tool or the right piece of technology in a supercharged slot, I think runaway mold is very good for making units too. Obviously, it's great for making nanites, but for making units, it's really good too, because, well, let's see. Let me do a round of these real quick, and I kind of want to get an idea of like how much nanites this one farm of this is, or one go around is, and then I want to see how much I can get in units for it. Okay, so I'm not even going to try to. I'm not even going to count these things. I'm just going to, start wailing away at them, man. All right. Now, as far as the units you can make from these things, I think you have to keep in mind, you have to consider the amount of time it's going to take me. Okay, from the moment I started mining these things till right now, I don't even think a minute went by, okay? And, this is what we got right here. So, first what I want to do is just see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 slots across. Okay, 10 across, and okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, we've got 50 of these spaces. I'm not even going to count this small amount, right? This 4,000. We've got 50 spaces being taken up by runaway mold. Now, when you put one of these in a refiner, it's going to make 1,999. So it's going to make 2,000, right? So if you do 2 times 50, right, you're getting 100,000 nanites from one run, right? Not even a minute of blowing these guys up. Now, obviously, the part that's going to take long is, cooking the stuff up. I've got quite a few bases that are packed with refiners. My freighter has 6 refiners. Every other base I've got has 5, except my one I have on the Paradise plant only has 4, and I had to fill them all up. But yeah, so basically this spot right here will produce, if you do the food buff and have an OptiDrill in your supercharged spot, A one-time shot, 30 seconds of taking these guys out is 100,000 nanites. Now, I'm curious how much units you can get for them, right? So, and that's going to depend what system you're in, right? Maybe there's a demand for it, like a plus something, or maybe there is, probably not that bad, but a minus. So it depends what system you're in. Now this is pretty terrible right here, the demand, right? Minus 80. So if I sell 500,000 of these, I'm still going to get 2 million units. You know what? Stick with me here. I'm going to take a trip to I'll go to this wealthy trade post base I've got. I'll meet you there in a moment. All right, everyone. Lamouthright Inza. I don't know, but it's a wealthy system basically. So I decided to build a base right on top of the trade terminal. I think at the time I was doing some exotic ship hunting. There's not a whole lot, but you'll have a few exotics come through here. A good bit of hot rods and a good bit of solars. And obviously, I don't know if it's just my experience in the game, but explorers and shuttles, or explorers and haulers, seem to be a very popular ship type. Not from players, but NPCs and all. But okay, so I just want to see what they go for at the exchange. Okay, so right here, minus 1.9%. So 500,000 of these, 9 million freaking units, right? I mean, if you consider the time it takes that it took to mine those, right? Again, less than a minute. Now, of course, I'm using up a food buff, one food buff for that, right? But 9 million units. I mean, we're talking like that competes with stasis devices, right? Stasis devices, generally you get about 14 to 16, 17 million for one stasis device, okay? However, with stasis devices, which, hey, I'm a big fan of, I love them, but with stasis devices, it takes a lot of your resources to make those things, okay? Which, again, is not a big deal, but considering, like, if you've got a runaway mold farm, especially a big one like that, and you can pretty much destroy those things in 30 seconds, I mean, that's 9 million units. Now, it would have probably actually been more profitable than a stasis device if the system where I've got the runaway mold farm I just built, if there was not a minus 80% demand for them, right? Let's say that demand was the same there as it is here. So in 30 seconds, I would have basically made 9 million units. I would have poured it away, probably just right to my freighter, which is not in the same system, but it's in the same galaxy, right? So it would have been a pretty quick port, and then port right back, take them out again, right? Another 30 seconds to a minute, and now you done made another 9 million, right? So pretty much 18, 19 million units within, 3 minutes. And the food buff lasts for 10 minutes. So, I mean, you could rinse and repeat that process, right? And you would come out pretty nicely. So, I mean, I'll rinse and repeat it right now. I'm not going to travel to another system to sell these, though. I'm just going to sell them here. Uh, but pretty big difference, right? 1.9 million units compared to 9 million units. And we'll see if, if I sold a couple stacks of these, or if I sold just one huge stack like I had, that may that may mess with the economy, at least for me, in this this system. So, but it's all good. Anyway, I know that runaway mold farms are not like, okay, yeah, minus 80. That's real bad. 2 million units. I know that runaway mold farms are not like rare or whatever, but this is a pretty big runaway mold farm. And if you guys are interested in coming and get yourself a big patch of runaway mold in a real short period of time, you can go ahead and take down that that portal address, not portal address, but the system address. And you really don't need coordinates because you can just, just come right to the base. You should see the base if you're in this system. So you can take a screenshot of that if you want. And I didn't see any other bases in this system, but just to be safe, this is the name of the base, Paradise Mold Base. Right? Pretty simple. So yeah, everyone, this was a pretty exciting find. I've been running around on a bunch of different planets. Basically, I'm looking at all of the exotic biome planets, right? Metallic planets, shattered, plated, shelled, spined, where you get all your little trophies or ornaments. And the only trophy or ornament I do not have is an ossified scar, which, that they happen to be on like petrified or calcified planets. And I've been on those planets before, but at the time I could have cared less about picking up some kind of decorative, thing that I could put in my base. But now I kind of want to have all of them, and I do have all of them except that one particular thing. But at the same time, I've been looking for paradise planets that I don't know, that are pretty nice to look at, don't have crazy heat storms. And I just kind of stumbled upon this as I was making some light year jumps. And I thought, yeah, I'll just run around here and check out the scenery. It's it's got a pretty good scenery, right? The whole theme is like red grass and all, which is a little bit odd. But then I seen the little 3-star icon when I was, using my analysis visor, and I was like, yeah, let me go check that out. And when I seen the amount of those things, and I seen sort of the terrain, I was like, man, I've got to build a base here. So yeah, and can't remember what I was going to say. There was something else I was wanting to get to, but I think, oh yeah, so I also found another paradise planet. I think it's called a damp planet, but it's really nice. It's actually really green, and it has a, I don't want to use the term realistic, but it, like if you were to go down to Florida or something, where there's like a lot of green, grass and palm trees, big green bushes. It's kind of a planet that looks like that. So I did put a base computer down, and that may be something that I mess with in the future. But anyway, everyone, yeah, I just wanted to kind of wanted to brag a little bit. That pretty insane amount of runaway mold in one place. So pretty happy and feel kind of lucky that I got that opportunity to make a really good runaway mold spot. So everyone, take it easy, and till the next time, peace out.